I can still picture the instant my world split apart. It didn't happen during an argument, and it wasn't caused by betrayal. It came from one quiet sentence that I was never supposed to hear. It was a normal Tuesday. It's the kind of day where disaster isn't on the schedule. A power failure shut down my office, so I headed home earlier than usual. I imagined surprising my wife, Jessica, with lunch, maybe stealing a rare, spontaneous afternoon together. What I found instead changed everything. I stepped inside and heard the woman I had loved for 8 years speaking softly into her phone. "Mom, I can't tolerate him anymore," she said. "Everything about him annoys me, even the sound of his breathing." The keys slipped from my fingers and clattered onto the floor, but she didn't notice. Her voice continued, tired and stripped of emotion. "This wasn't a rough day," she said. This feeling had been growing for years. Something inside me shattered. Right then, I left the house without being seen. I drove aimlessly until the road blurred, then checked into a rundown motel glowing under flickering fluorescent lights. Lying on the stained bed, staring at cracked wallpaper, I made a choice. She wanted distance from me, so I would give her complete absence. I vanished. I pulled out cash, bought a disposable phone, and chopped my hair short so I wouldn't look like myself. I rented another cheap room even farther away. Only one person knew I was alive, my sister, Sarah. For the first time since adulthood began, I wasn't someone's husband or a company employee. I was simply gone. I slept whenever I wanted. I lived on drive-through meals. I avoided anything that reminded me of home. Still, Jessica's words haunted me. My existence suffocates him. But disappearing wasn't as simple as I believed. Emails. For my boss piled up, human resources tried to reach me. Then Sarah sent a link that drained the breath from my chest. It was a news segment. There was Jessica on the screen, its eyes swollen, hands shaking, pleading for help and finding her missing husband. Her social media had transformed overnight photos of us, long captions filled with love, fear, and grief. I didn't know what to think. Was this performance? Manipulation? Or had something shifted after I left? Then the guilt crashed over me. My parents were terrified. Police were involved. Neighbors whispered behind curtains. My escape had created shockwaves far beyond the pain of one sentence. I finally called my parents. My mother broke down sobbing. My father's voice wavered between anger and relief. I couldn't run anymore. When I came back, the neighborhood stood still like they'd seen an apparition. Blue ribbons were tied to trees. Posters hung from streetlights reading, "Come home, Daniel." Our dog Cooper launched himself at me the moment I stepped inside. Behind him stood Jessica, pale, exhausted, shaking. She ran to me, crying so hard she struggled to breathe. "Why did you leave?" she sobbed. "Why didn't you say anything?" I didn't return her embrace. "I heard you," I said calmly. "That day, when you told your mother you couldn't stand me," her face drained of color. You heard that?" Sat at the kitchen table, the same table where we'd shared thousands of ordinary happy meals. That's when she told me the truth. She wasn't angry with me. She wasn't disgusted by me. She wasn't suffocating because of our marriage. Jessica was drowning in severe depression. She'd been hiding it alone for years. She'd started therapy months earlier but stopped taking her medication, convinced she was cured. As the darkness returned stronger, warping everything, including how she felt about me. "Those words weren't about you," she said through tears. "They were the illness speaking. I hated myself, hated my life, not you. I wanted to hold on to my pain to protect my hurt. But then I noticed the psychiatric charges on our credit card. I saw how her hands trembled, how fragile she looked. She wasn't making excuses. She was confessing a truth soaked in shame. I wasn't ready to come back fully. But I wasn't ready to walk away forever either. Before I left again to think, Jessica gave me something, her personal therapy journal. "Read this," she said. "Then decide if you still want to leave." Opening it felt unbearable. The early entries were devastating fear, regret, belief that she had chosen the wrong life. But as I kept reading, the tone changed. Daniel is the best thing in my life. I'm drowning and he doesn't know. The medication is helping. I can feel his love again. I'm terrified he'll leave if he sees the real me. By the end, tears smeared. The ink, her pain had been invisible to me. Her darkness had wrapped around both of us without my realizing it. The answer became clear. We didn't need separation. We needed a fresh start dashed together. We moved across the country to Seattle, leaving behind gossip, police reports, and judgment. Our new apartment was small. Our jobs weren't secure. Jessica's depression didn't magically disappear, we argued. We stumbled. We almost fell apart again, but we kept going. Therapy, medication, brutal honesty. We rebuilt something real and perfect. It's messy and genuine. One rainy afternoon, while walking Cooper along the beach, Jessica stopped and squeezed my hand. "I want to renew our vows," she said. "Just us. New promises for who we are now." I asked what she would promise. "To tell you when the darkness returns," she said. "To stop hiding. To choose you even when my mind lies." Then she asked me. "I promise not to disappear again," I said. "Even when I'm afraid, I promise. To listen, and I promise to remember that depression deceives but love doesn't. We're not flawless. Hard days still come, but now we face them side by side, not alone. Some marriages are built on fantasy. Ours is built on truth. Ugly, painful, and beautiful. Jessica once said she couldn't stand me. What she truly couldn't stand was herself. Now, a year later, she calls me her home, and for the first time I believe it. Thank you for listening.